Hello guys and welcome back by the Outer Worlds. So we are finally going up here. I feel a lot better than the last time. So we're able to do stuff. What's here? Alright. The Esbert Saltuna Canning Facility strictly adheres to Space Joy's standards of life and safety. Schedule your sick leave with a Space Joy's foreman and or supervisor. Be considerate towards other members of the Space Joy's family. Allow 2 to 4 weeks to process and approve your scheduled sick leave. Jeez. Lost hours must be compensated to the company. See read if you're having trouble paying for your sick leave. We'll try to arrange wage deductions instead. Remember, work invigorates the spirit. Sickness in the body reflects sickness in the mind and sickness in the character. If you find yourself falling ill, it may be time to schedule a meeting with your local vicar. Right. Oh. Okay. It sounded like... Oh, I don't want to have that. No. That's how I got rid of it. This is probably called whatevs. Ah, all of them.
Miss Holcomb, I need you to explain this big lesson. The grease monkey, Argo?
I'm sorry, Mr. Thompson, sir. You asked why it's taking so long to fix. The answer's technical.
Don't apologize. Just try using small words for me.
The can's bust open in the oven because she's set to cook saltuna, which isn't what we've got. Mr. Thompson? I think there's someone here to see you.
Focus, Miss Holcomb. You and I are still talking. Let's start over. Walk me through the process. Show me where it's going awry.
Well, sure. It's, mostly on account of what we're feeding into the mechanism.
It puts food in cans. We have food, we have cans. Why won't it work like we need?
She's expecting saltuna of a certain size. We're filling the cans with, well, not fish.
Well, go ahead and talk. Well, what are you looking at me for? Man.
Seems we've got a guest.
Yes.
Really now, Parvati, I do wish you'd spoken up. I do apologize. I was given no forewarning of your arrival, or I might have welcomed you at the gates myself.
Are you Reed? I was told I should talk to you. You must be the town boss. I'll wait until you finish.
You were saying, Miss Holcomb.
It's just what Bess needs is a proper refurbish. I can bandage her up and what all, but she's just old. Sorry, I'm sorry. I'll do better.
And I do wish you'd stop referring to our cannery as Bess. Personification of company property is strictly contrary to the Spacer's Choice Code of Conduct. My apologies. I am not in the habit of allowing my guests to witness such a row. Now, what can I do for you?
We can start with introduction. I'm Jackie. Are you Reed?
I'm Reed Thompson, Outpost Administrator. I cannot help but notice you are not in uniform.
Uniform? What are you talking about? I don't work for Space Choice. I think you may have the wrong idea about me.
Yes, so it dawns on me. Seems I allowed my excitement to run away with my wits. Been a few seasons since we've had a visitor pass through.
My ship needs repairs. I'm looking for a power regulator. I don't plan on staying long.
Only regulator we got is hooked up to the town transformer. Mr. Thompson ain't liable to be keen on dismantling it.
I beg your pardon. I am most emphatically not keen on any such thing. I can't let you have our power regulator. But I happen to know of another one. And I happen to know exactly how you may retrieve it without frying yourself in the process.
Let's hear him frying myself? Let me guess. You want me to do something for you before you help me?
Oh yes. Saw someone put his hands on a regulator while the power was running. His legs were still twitching when we buried him. There's a power regulator in the old botanical lab. It's mostly abandoned, so all that power is being squandered. Go down to the geothermal plant. Reroute power from the botanical district over to us. Once their power's shut down, you can have their regulator and be along on your way.
When you say mostly abandoned, what do you mean? That's a lot to ask of a stranger. Tell me about the geometric plant.
The geothermal plant was built by our owners, Spacer's Choice. Lit up the whole Vale once upon a time. Most of the Vale is now abandoned. All that power is going to waste.
You said the motor. Can you send one of your own people?
I was not entirely sure how to tell you this. The botanical labs are not legally inhabited, but there are people who live there.
Tell me what I need to do. What a surprise. I never would have guessed. I don't think these people will take kindly to using their power. You mean marauders? Murder people.
The people living in the botanical labs. They're deserters, former workers. I need them back at their posts. I need them to come home.
Tell me what you need to do. Why? If you want me to solve your deserter problem, I can charge by the head.
Edgewater is struggling. We haven't hit our production quota in years. If we don't meet our quotas this year, the company might shut us down for good. I need those workers back at their stations.
How can I help? None of what you're telling me is my problem. I've seen Edgewater. I don't blame this work for talking, okay?
My hope is that by cutting off their power, you will convince those deserters to come back to town. Before you go to the plant, I want you to stop by the botanical lab. Speak to their leader, Adelaide. Tell her the power's about to go, and that it's time her band of deserters came back to town.
Alright, Reed, I'll see what I can do to help you. How will I recognize Adelaide? I can manage.
Adelaide's older than the other deserters. She's dignified, kindly. From what I understand, her camp looks to her for leadership.
So one is left town for a reason, but doesn't want to come along. So about okay.
That is not a hypothetical I enjoy entertaining. We need Adelaide back. Nonetheless, I will settle for the return of her followers. We belong to one community, the Spacer's Choice family. If we dissolve into factions, then we will all perish separately. Adelaide will understand that.
Alright, Reed, so I'll see what I can do to help you. Can't make any promises.
My dad told me all about the plant. Taught me all he knew. I could come in useful. I mean, if that's all right with you, Mr. Thompson. Sir.
I hesitate to part ways with Miss Holcomb, but I cannot deny that she is talented and may prove useful to you. You will need an administrative passcode in order to enter the plant. I am trusting you with mine, and trusting Miss Holcomb to guide you if you'd like.
Sure, I could use the company. Yeah.
Great! I got my wrenches and diagnosticators and hairpins and engine tape, so I'm all set.
Well, I am glad to hear that. Best of luck to you, and thank you again for your help. It is a lot to ask of a stranger, I know.
Alright, let's go. Hey, hell, let's go. Oh. CMP New Manager Seminar. Companions. You've gained a companion. There are characters that join you in your adventures and help in a variety of ways. You got a companion, provide combat support. Their skills enhance your skills. They increase your carrying capacity. Oh, that's good. You can unlock special companion combat abilities with the inspiration skill. Learn more about your companions in the companion ledger. Okay, some people may require completing all the quests before they will assist you. You can check your quest log for the petition. Right?
We better clear out of Mr. Thompson's office before we talk.
Okay. Come on, Pavati. Are you stepping in? Girl. Alright. Right. Oh, wait, what?
Hey, mister, can we talk? Sorry. You got a
Sure.
minute? Sorry. You just want to get out of here. And you likely don't want to tag along like me. It's just, Mr. Thompson has his own view on matters, on account of it's his job and what all, but that's not the only side of the tale.
Alright, so this is about the deserters. So what is the other side of it? Figures? Reed didn't exactly strike me as the most honest soul. What he said seemed pretty straightforward to me. If I wanted to deal with nuances, I wouldn't be this heavily armed. Let's move. As Mr. Thompson's own view of matters, his job and all. That's not the only side of the tale.
To Mr. Thompson, a person's a gear. It does its job quiet-like. If it squeaks or stutters, it gets replaced. The deserters are decent folk. I knew some of them before they left.
Right. I can't blame anybody for wanting to leave this town, I guess. How well did you know the deserters? You work with them? You were friends or what? Did you know this Adelaide? Adelaide. The deserters are very fine people. So what? A person's a gear.
I don't know anybody well. I mostly listen to them talk, kept my head down. There was a boy named Thomas who used to follow me around, asking questions about the stuff I fixed. He was real sweet to me. Not any sort of dissident.
Alright, so...
Life's hard here. Especially for them that don't fit in so well. We're one big Spacer's Choice family, but every family's got the one the rest whisper about. Mr. Thompson's aiming to take away their power. They'll have no lights to see, nor heat to cook. They'll be at the mercy of marauders, or worse. I think you should talk to the town's vicar about it. Max, his name is.
Alright, we will talk with Max. Definitely. It couldn't hurt but stop by. What do we need to talk to the vicar about? Flipping a switch in the power mill? Where we'll find him.
The mission's on the east side of town. You can't miss it. On account of it being the only clean thing.
Right.
Thanks, mister. I just think when you gotta make a decision that'll hurt somebody, it's best to think on the right and wrong of it. That's what my dad used to say anyways.
Alright, Pavati. Let's go, I think. So we got two things to do. We can go out there, or we can talk to the vicar, I think. Divert power from the geometric plant. Okay, that's what we're going to do. Deliver Reed's message. Speak to the vicar. I definitely want to speak to the vicar. Alright. Let's go to the vicar.
I've always felt weird in here. It's too clean.
Can I understand that? Can I talk to these people?
Work fortifies the spirit.
Oh, well, good for you, bruh.
Our place in the universe is fixed.
Nice.
Hey there, Mary. Don't see you round here too often.
Oh, I just came to talk to the vicar is all. None of us are above confessionals.
What have you got to confess? You ain't thinking of deserting, are you?
What? No. And I resent the accusation.
Wasn't nothing but a question. Do excuse me.
I must be on my way. Verity to you. Work fortifies the spirit.
Alright.
Our place in the universe.
Alright. Vicar. I would like to have a talk with you, Max. Can I have a talk with you?
Yes, what is it? You're an outsider. Fantastic. Vicar Maximilian de Soto at your service. Or Vicar Max, if you're the sort who prefers brevity. And Ms. Holcomb as well. How rare to see you out. And with a complete stranger. Curious.
Just tagging along, Vicar DeSoto. Don't mind me.
I so rarely get new people to talk to. Name your poison, anything at all. Spiritual counseling? This season's tossball predictions? The quickest way out of town?
Before I want to talk to you about what Reed asked us to do. How did you know I'm an outsider? What sort of spiritual advice do you offer here? I just thought of something else I need to be doing.
They who are not satisfied with their work are satisfied with nothing. No. How about, work fortifies the spirit. True exhaustion awaits idle hands.
I was actually asking what your religion was all about. Seriously? That was your signing here?
The OSI teaches that the Grand Architect set a perfect system in motion at the beginning of time. Contentment is found by accepting one's role in that grand plan.
What does OC stand for? How do you talk to this Grand Architect, prayer, meditation, or whatever?
The Order of Scientific Inquiry, also known as scientism to the layperson.
Okay. How do you... Oh, wait.
Mock me all you want. I know my beliefs to be true.
Alright, then...
You don't talk to the Grand Architect. Once the universe was set in motion, it stepped back. It has no concern for us.
Okay, so it doesn't sound like a very motivated religious philosophy. So what's your part of all this besides counseling people? Pretty weak religion? I think pretty dumb. No.
We will eventually decode the plan and all its intricacies. Once we are able to deduce the properties of every particle in the universe and its trajectory, we will know everything. The future, the past, each person's place within the plan, all will be laid out before us, removing struggle and bringing peace. No one will ever need question their path again. Some even believe this ultimate knowledge will unlock mankind's true potential, and we will all become akin to grand architects ourselves, after a fashion.
Alright, that seems unlikely. Really? How does that work? Tell me more.
Well, first there's the matter of the secret blood rites and animal sacrifices. I'm kidding. Seriously, though, to truly understand the metaphysics involved takes years of study and contemplation.
Talk to you.
I've never seen you before, and there's been no paperwork indicating a transfer. Half the time it's wrong, but a new worker without paperwork? Unheard of. Also, you lack the distinctive worker gaze. Usually either a deadening behind the eyes, or in some rare cases, a wild-eyed frenzy, like a trapped animal. Pretty universal here, except for Ms. Holcomb, who for some reason doesn't seem to have much to say to me. Isn't that right?
It's just... there's more to it all than numbers. Sorry.
Maybe it's because you're so dismissive, quite inappropriate for a vicar, isn't it? I'm a bit surprised to hear you dismiss your parishioners so casually.
I'm simply bemoaning the level of spiritual awareness in this town.
Isn't it your job to raise that? Does it got to be tough? Sounds like you're terrible at your job, vicar.
Yes, it is. But it's my job, and I take it very seriously. I must double my efforts to elevate my flock. These are good, hard-working people here.
What? I thought you would talk to him.
You wanted to speak to me, Ms. Holcomb? Every time I've tried to engage you in conversation, you look at the floor, answer in single words, and slink away. I can't imagine what would be so grave as to drive her to my mission. What has Mr. Thompson asked you to do?
Fix the geothermal plant, cut off the power to Adelis deserters, cut the power to the deserters. If you could ask quickly.
Depriving them of safety from the marauders and wildlife. I can see why that troubles you. Miss Holcomb has a soft heart. Always has, if you believe the talk.
So what do you advise? What do you think?
They rejected the order of society and live beyond the walls so thoughtfully provided by our Spacer's Choice patrons. Does that strike you as a responsible life choice?
It depends on how well the leader can provide beyond your walls. So what do you advise? Right, great.
Astute. But I am here, not in the deserter camp. So that's not a variable I can account for.
So what do you advise?
Assuming your goal is to save as many as possible, then you should bring everyone together. Send the power to Edgewater and convince the deserters to return to the fold.
Is that even possible? Right. Just talk everybody into coming together. I'll keep that in mind. It sounds like I've got my work cut out for me. Thank you for your time.
Not if things are left to stand as they are. If you don't mind a bit of unsolicited advice, be cautious on your way to the geothermal plant. It is not as safe as you might assume.
Why is that?
One of the reasons I transferred here was to fulfill my duty in hunting down banned heretical texts. I happen to know such a book is, as we speak, tainting a collector's library in Emerald Vale. However, the collector's residence lies outside the town's walls. My retrieval efforts have been thwarted by marauders who have overrun the property. Should you fare better than me, I'd pay a handsome sum for the book.
A handsome sum, you'd say? Tell me more. Why would a vicar be after a banned heretical book? I assume you want to burn it once you get hands on it.
I just want to keep the writing out of layman's hands. It wouldn't do for such information to fall into public consumption.
You can make compelling arguments. Seems to me the authorities will be interested to hear your after the contraband act. I'll need to know a little bit more of this book before I agree to this.
It's a handwritten journal. A faded blue cover with the name M. Bakonu handwritten in the lower corner. I'll mark where I saw it on your map. Assuming you're serious? It is not only a beautiful relic of a bygone time, it's also the thoughts of an early thinker on the nature of man's place in the cosmos. Not many in this colony could understand its true value, should they ever read it.
I'll look for your book.
Thank you. If you retrieve it, you can always find me here.
So we got a job for the vicar, and of course shit to do for Parvati. We need to get out. I kind of want to check that dues.
Yeah, huh?
I noticed you mentioned your dad a lot, but never your mother. Something earlier wanted. Alright, let's say that.
That's on account of how I never met her.
How's it possible? I'm sorry.
It's hard to miss what you never knew. I don't ponder it over much. She was in another division of the Spacer's Choice family. She worked in the Vale a few months, sorting the cannery computers. Her contract said any kids she had, expected or not, belonged to her office from the time of conception. So when I was born, I got sent here.
Is that normal? That's inhuman. You get along well with your dad? You might not have with your mother.
Could be. Reckon I'll never know. You mean about the mission being too clean? I know, but Vicker says the universe is a machine, that it runs by law. Real machines have gunked up oil, scratches, and worn bits. You can tell they've seen handling, been used by folk. The machine Vicker sees is one ain't never been run. It's not for people to live in. It's something on a museum shelf, under glass.
Oh, you're a mechanic. Whenever you see a machine that's need fixing, it's an ideal. Not what we live in, but what we strive for. Then why do you want to talk then? The machine Vigor sees is one ain't never been run. It's not for people to live in, it's something up on the museum shelf under glass. Oh man.
It just comes off cold to me, is all.
Okay. Alright. Alright, so in the next episode we will go out to that power plant and let's see what we can do there. That was it for this episode. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys liked it. And I hope I'll see you guys in the next video I make. Bye bye.